Hello. I hope you've been and grabbed a pen and paper because that's what you're going to need this morning. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It's me, Gemma Blythe, hosting here on Imperfect TV Network on YouTube. Please join, share, comment as we go along, and let's get on with it. So, when you've been through trauma, it's common to experience a lot of shame, guilt, worry, anxiety. Sometimes your head can feel like you're in a bit of a spin cycle and you need a way out. On top of that, there can also be themes of having to forgive yourself for what you've experienced. And it's normal to feel like that. It's normal to feel as though you were in some way guilty for what happened. That is all part and parcel of what you experienced and what you've been through. So it's important that you take this time to let go, forgive yourself, and look forward. And that's what we're going to be covering today. Just allowing yourself to write on a page all the different things that you maybe feel guilty for, but you needn't. So when it comes to journaling, you form a deep connection with yourself. You get to know the parts of yourself that have either laid dormant or not, just simply not been there. Just simply, you feel like there's always been a place that you felt lost or scared because you weren't connected to it. So that's again what we're going to be doing. We're going to be delving in, we're going to be discovering what's causing that and getting to know ourselves on a much deeper level. However, before all that, I want us to take a couple of deep breaths together this morning. So I will put up a video on the screen of nature and see the water running. So then you can take a couple of deep breaths with me just to simply relax and ease into your morning. So I will turn my mic off and we can do that together. Just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And we'll do that over a couple of minutes. Okay? So I will disappear. Okay, how was that? A lot can be eased by just simply breathing. So it's been my pleasure to share that with you this morning. So, when we're looking at self forgiveness, it's quite a complex thing, which is why it needs breaking down, which is why I do these segments in 4 journaling prompts. So, over the course of this live, you'll be able to journal either along with me or later on when you watch it back, you'll be able to pause this to take your time over what you write. So, without further ado, I will put up the next journaling prompt on the screen, which there it is, and I will turn off the camera again and we will journal together. So this one is, when and why did you feel the most responsible for what happened to you and the trauma you experienced? Okay. Take your time, break it down, let whatever needs to come out, and then we will meet back here and discuss. So here we go. Okay, so what came up for you there? Was it because normally when you're in a situation that involves trauma and a lot of different things like that, normally they target when you're at your vulnerable, or when you're at your most vulnerable, I should say. So it's normal to feel guilty because either you had external circumstances going on that were separate from the trauma that you're experiencing, or maybe there are other people involved that were either younger than you or more vulnerable or equally vulnerable. So it's so important to acknowledge where that comes from, because it almost seems like the versions of our right and wrong get skewed during trauma, because we become used to the abuser or the perpetrator getting their own way. And that's simply not right. There is still a right and wrong. There are still morals. They know deep down what they're doing is wrong. You know deep down what they did is wrong. So this is all about giving yourself the time and the space to acknowledge and forgive yourself, because deep down you know that you did no wrong. You weren't in control of their actions. You aren't in control of how they talk. So hold on to that. You can't control them any more than they can control you. So you're not to blame. So hold on to that. The next one is a lot lighter, you'll be pleased to know. So I'm just going to get the next prompt up. Let's see. So, what are the 3 things you can do right now to show yourself compassion and kindness? So, again, if you need to, take a few deep breaths, gather your thoughts, and just let your mind wander on the page. You've got this. You are capable. You are independent and you are strong. So, let's do this together. What are the 3 things you can do right now to show yourself compassion and kindness? Again, I will give you a few minutes to do that. So take your time. Let's go. So, which ways did you come up with to show yourself compassion and kindness? I would love to know. Comment below if you feel like it. Let's share some. Share some ideas. Let's get people talking and collaborating and just build a community. So, just because you've been through the trauma and things like that, it doesn't mean to say that you are not entitled to be selfish with yourself and with your time. If you don't feel like doing something, simply don't do it. Yeah, it might feel as though you're letting people down. It might feel as though the world will cave in. But I'm here to tell you that it absolutely won't. And people pleasing is just another symptom of the wonderful traumatic experience that you've been through. So if you feel like taking a walk, go out there, get some fresh air, take a walk. If you feel like taking a class that you've always wanted to take, go ahead. Life's too short. Embrace it. Or if you want to take a bath, take a bath. Take some time out, light some candles, take in a book. Even if you want to run a bath in the middle of the day, throw caution to the wind. Do it. Do whatever it takes to show yourself that kindness and the compassion that you deserve to feel after trauma. Nobody else has been through what you've been through. Nobody else has experienced what you've been through. It's all part and parcel of learning to forgive yourself, but more importantly, embracing the forgiveness that you show yourself. Because the more that you embrace that forgiveness and the more that you show yourself forgiveness, then the more you believe you deserve forgiveness. And that's the thing. So make a list of dopamine-filled things that you love to do and try and incorporate them into your life. Try and do little bits here and there and take the time that you deserve to experience those things. Because there's no reason why you shouldn't. None at all. So, with that being said, let's go on to the next prompt, which is explore writing a letter of forgiveness to yourself. So this can be at any point in your life that you write this letter to. Just write whatever comes to your mind. Don't use negativity because you don't need to. But write and address things that have always been niggling at you. Okay. So I will disappear again for around 2 minutes. And if you need anything, just simply write in a comment. Okay, here we go. Take your time, breathe. You have time. Okay. Okay, how was that? So, as I briefly explained, writing a letter of forgiveness to yourself is both a key of reflection and allowing your brain to wander over those niggling points that you may have had, which need clearing up, because we all know that if we're writing a letter of forgiveness to another person, maybe we mention something to them that is completely different in the letter to what we would put to ourselves. So, and it's a lot easier when you write to get words down than when you speak sometimes. So that allows your brain to say, hang on, you're writing this about yourself. You deserve to feel like this. You deserve that level of forgiveness that you're putting down in that letter. It's all about reprogramming our brains to accept the fact of what happened to us, to know that we felt guilty. But why? And that's where the letter of forgiveness comes in, because it allows yourself to explore those feelings of forgiveness, but not towards somebody else, towards you. Which is why it's such a beautiful exercise. And this whole process of self-forgiveness allows yourself to not only reconnect with yourself in different ways, but it allows yourself to open your mind up to those different things. And it allows you to feel those different things without the guilt, without the shame, and just breathe. I love letter writing. I write to myself sometimes when I feel like it. And now you can too with this exercise. It's so beautiful to get your thoughts and feelings down on a page, knowing that you're the only one that's going to read them. Okay. So, with that being said, the next one then is, let me just paste it in. Rewrite the negative thoughts you hold about yourself to positive. Okay, I'm not going to say too much about this one. I am going to leave it to you to let your mind wander as much as it needs to. Get most of the negative feelings out on the page and rewrite them as positive. Okay. I'll give you another few minutes. This is the last one, so take your time. Breathe now if you need to. I'll work through. Okay. Okay, so how was that? Was that okay? Did you find that difficult? It can be quite challenging to allow your mind to wander to different places. So it is normal after you've experienced trauma to live in the negative somewhat, but it doesn't mean that you are that way. So, for example, then, if you believe that you aren't good enough, okay, if we were to switch that round to a more positive, optimistic thought or belief, what would that become? it would become, I am capable of trying my best. Every opportunity presents a new kind of growth. So it goes back to what I was saying, that you can learn from your mistakes. You can learn from wherever you are at the moment. So another one then is, I'll never succeed. Okay. Can we have a guess what that becomes? That will become, I am capable of achieving my goals with hard work and dedication. Because if you put hard work and dedication into anything, you can achieve it. There's this old saying that you have to see it to believe it. I don't necessarily agree with that, especially when it comes to rewriting these negative beliefs into positive ones. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Think about that as you head throughout your week. And there's just one more exercise that I want to do with you before we close out. And that is to set your intention for the rest of the week based around forgiving yourself. So if you want to show yourself more compassion this week, that could be an intention. If you want to express more gratitude this week, that could be your intention. Or you could set a single word intention. A bit like I set a word intention this year, which you can watch on my Life with Gemma Blythe channel. I set my word for this year, and that's courageous, because I didn't want to say no to things. So I'm going to go off camera again and just allow yourself this time to set your intentions and breathe through them. Take them in, digest them, and take them through your week. It doesn't matter how many you do. If it's only one, that's brilliant. But the key thing is here, intentions don't have any deadlines. You can simply take your time and keep them in mind. Okay. Let's go then. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you managed to set your intentions for the whole week. please let me know what they are, as I'd love to hear. Just drop them down in the comments. And I will make sure that I am here next Monday morning for more of the same, but on a different subject. Also, if you have any suggestions, please drop them to me, as I would love to hear them. And all that's left for me to say is make sure that you join me, share this, drop a comment, drop a like, and see you next week.